All right, friends, it's Timan. We're gonna react to another Blaha video which he posted just now. Man, this guy posts videos like there's no tomorrow. Anyways, we're gonna react to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave, JasonBlaha. Blaha says everyone can make progress on good programming. Yeah, it depends.
Good training programming will work for everyone. Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys would please click like down below, it would be greatly appreciated. If you aren't following me or subscribed yet, please do so. And if you would be so kind as to drop me a comment down under the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It could be just to say hello or to give your thoughts or ideas on the video. All right, so let me get over into the topic. You know, people always feel like programming always needs to be individualized, and I'll go so far as to say, yeah, supplemental work, weak point training, all that stuff, absolutely can be individualized. But there's also this strange...
Individualized, okay. That's interesting, yeah.
Strange idea people have that, well, this sort of programming won't work for anyone. And I think that comes down to coaching and mindset. I'm going to completely disagree.
How many videos does he need to put out every single day? I mean, lifting is not that difficult. If you want a power lift, lift concentrically. If you want a body build, lift eccentrically. See what I mean? How hard is that to understand? And then if you just want to, I don't know, lift conventionally, then lift conventionally, right? Full range of motion is conventionally lifting. People that go into the gym, they lift conventionally. Is that difficult to do? No. Like programming and all this kind of stuff he talks about, it just doesn't make any sense. But okay, whatever, man. But I will react to every video that he puts up. I don't care. And even when it comes to eating, like the natural diet of a human being, it's kind of obvious. It's carnivore meat. We're carnivores, so we eat animals. Now, anything you eat outside of carnivore, it's a diet. It's considered a diet or a behavior. You're behaving in an unusual way. Get it? Eating what you're not really supposed to, but you're eating it. See what I mean? Can you get away with it? Can your body tolerate it? Well, yeah, it's tolerating it. When cows, when they're fed grains, their diet is grass. But when they're fed grains and corn, do they tolerate it? Yes. And what do they have to do? They have to give them these shots. Why? To suppress the diseases that will come out from eating foods that they're not adapted to. Just like animals, when they're adapted to drinking out of these dirty water holes, if they go somewhere else to another water hole, they may get sick and die. They're already adapted to that water, to that area, whatever it is they're eating there. It's all dependent. Now, like I said, you're tolerating it, and so we have to take injections too, because we're domesticated animals as well. We're suppressing we're suppressing polio and other kind of diseases by taking booster shots and everything. So it's kind of a natural. Your body really is just tolerating eating these foods. You're getting inflammation. You're thinking you're full, but that's inflammation. Whatever. I mean, if you get off on, blowing gas, out of the other hole and all day long eating food that blowing gas and being bloated and heartburn and inflammation, if that's something you really enjoy, well, then, you can continue in that behavior. But here's the thing. If you don't like those things and shitting every day shitting because fiber, you can't digest fiber, so your body simply shits it out. You're shitting all the time. So if those are things that turn you on, or you get hot and bothered about them, they excite you, then yeah, do it. But if it bothers you, then don't do it, and it'll go away, really.
And here's what I'm going to say, and you want the evidence. Look at all this conjugate stuff. So I'm doing conjugate stuff here, right? You guys can see it. In fact, almost everything in this video is just literally...
That's a made-up word by humans, conjugate. Your arms either move up or down, or in between. They can stop in between and move up and down. But in reality, your arms move up and they move down. Or they can move down and they can move up, okay? Down and up and down. See what I mean? Yeah, that's all they really do. Your arms, your shoulders go up, they go down. You know what I mean? When you're on a bench press, it goes up, it goes down. Get it, bro? Even your back, your legs, whatever, up and down, okay? Now, you need to figure out which one is best for you, going down or going up and down. or going full range of motion up and down, or a partial range of motion up and down. I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to build, okay? If you're trying to build muscle and super strength, then you definitely want to do eccentric. Now, if you want to build the illusional strength, the strength that's an illusion, it's kind of an illusion, then lift concentrically, get it? That's all. And you won't get any muscle, but don't complain that you got a strong guy, but you didn't get a big guy. Get it? You understand me, man? Or maybe you got a bigger, but it's sarcoplasmic. It isn't myofibular. See what I mean? So, like I said, if you don't want to build muscle and you just want to be good at lifting concentrically, then lift concentrically. Now, if you want to get super strong and be good at lifting eccentrically and concentrically and have super strength at a longer range of motion as opposed to a shorter range of motion, then eccentric is for you, and it will automatically build muscle because it's forced to. You understand me? In other words, if you lift eccentrically, your body's going to build muscle whether you like it or not. You understand me? Because it has to have more explosive power eccentrically for a longer range of motion. Get it, dude? That's all. It's really simple. That's just how it works.
Me and DE work. So I'm going to make a statement here.
It's going to make a statement.
How come at Westside they didn't have to have it?
Because Westside took steroids. That's why they faked it. They faked it like everything else.
How come when a NFL team is put on this sort of system, a strength coach can run?
Look, I have a question for you. Can muscles be faked? Can muscles be faked? Yes. And what would that modality be? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's a type of artificial muscle growth. So muscles can be faked, right? Okay. Now, can strength be faked? Yes, it can be faked. It can be faked. You understand me? It can be faked. I don't know how to explain this to some people, but it can be faked. See what I mean? But what is going to be stronger? A person that has got more explosive power in a longer range of motion, or a person that only has power in a shorter range of motion? See what I mean? Which one would be stronger? The longer range of motion or shorter range of motion? The longer range of motion, obviously, is going to have more strength and power than the short range of motion. Get it? Now, if the person with the short range of motion, they try to do a longer range of motion, guess what's going to happen to them? They're going to fail. Why? Because they've never been trained in the longer range of motion. You understand what I explained to you? And so they're going to die there. They're going to die there. Either they're going to get injured, crippled, injured, or I don't know what. But they're definitely going to die there in the longer range of motion. There you go. It's kind of obvious. And I can prove it. There's video after video online. It shows you these people, once they get into the longer range of motion, bam, they've killed their knees and shit. They end up in hospitals. Their chest, the muscles roll up. They bust off the bone. All kinds of stuff. Biceps, tricep tears, you name it, in the longer range of motion. Why? Because it's dangerous. You understand? Because they're weak there, because they've trained short range of motion. They've never trained long range of motion, and their muscles are fake. It's sarcoplasmic. It isn't based on myofibular because they never train eccentrically. Myofibular growth is associated with eccentric long range of motion exercises. Get it, dude?
6 guys, 7, 8 guys in a rotation, or 12 guys on the same program, and they all keep winning Super Bowls.
Okay.
How come when any of the conjugate coaches set up these rotations, they can run whole blocks of guys, fire departments, police departments, Army Ranger teams, they can run all of them on the exact same program and they all excel?
Yeah, they're all on the same program. They all excel because they're all taking steroids. That's why. They're all taking drugs. They're available. Why would they want to go through all this problem, these routes to figure out how to build their body, which nobody really knows out there. They don't really know. So they take a shortcut. It's called steroids. Kind of obvious.
Single one of them make good progress because good programming is good programming. All right, let me be very, very clear on that. Good programming will work for everybody. In other words, they figured this out with all this stuff running these rotations and the max effort work, dynamic effort work, supplemental work afterwards. You could take 20, 30 lifters going to the same gym As long as you got good coaches directing all of it, keeping their mindset correct, they all make progress. And it doesn't matter if they're 20 years old or 60 years old. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. You can.
Look, man, if you're in an industry and they're paying you money, you're not going to have time to fuck around. You're going to take steroids, okay? That's what these people do. They take steroids and then that's it. All right? Blaha's nuts. Blaha's on steroids.
Literally take this same program and have all the young guys, the 20-somethings, 30-somethings in one group, sit there on one set of platforms, and a coach be directing all of it and keeping their mindset. And you could have 6 or 8 grandmas, all women in their 50s on the other platform, because again, you only want to make so big of weight changes. Have them all running the same base programming, and every one of them will get bigger, stronger, faster. Every single person there.
Bigger, stronger, and faster. Oh, man. Yeah, they took steroids. Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. Everything works until it stops working. Why, when the group came in the second week, they got much less damage? Why aren't they getting the same damage when they first came into the gym? Because they've adapted. They've adapted, so there's no more growth. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? There is no more growth. There's nothing going on there. And so that's why they have so many of these programs. Conjugate program, pyramiding, cluster, drop set, this. They have so many hit program. Bro, they make up so many programs. Want to know why? Because everything works, and then it stops working really quickly. Now, not everything stops working that quick. Some stop quicker and some go a little bit longer. But nothing like eccentric exercise. It never stops. It always works. Here's the thing. There is one modality that always works. And guess what it is? Eccentric exercise. It always works, bro. Get it? It never stops working. Never. Only it's dependent on you. You stop working. It never stops working. See what I mean? But all these training programs that these people put out, they all stop working. You're not really doing anything. If I just stand here and I start curling dumbbells, I just curl them up and down, or I fly them, I just curl them with nothing. I'm not doing anything. There's nothing going on there. I've done them before, right? I'm doing them again. Is anything going on there? No, nothing. You want to know why? Because you're adapted. There's nothing going on there. Because the exercise itself is frivolous. You understand what, in the context of law, you know what lawyers use? They use these words called frivolous, vexatious, and frivolous and vexatious and whatever. They use these kind of these words. And that's what the training, they should use that. They would probably use that in the lifting world. This is vexatious and frivolous, vexatious, whatever. Yeah, those kind of exercise. Why would they do that? See what I mean? They would know to take the most superior route to get there. Eccentric exercise is superior for everything when it comes to strength and mass. So why would you need anything else? See what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that stretch-mediated hypertrophy isn't a bad thing either. That's on a basis too, somewhat like eccentric exercise. They've got isotonic stretches, long stretching, but to me, I have got experience with just stretching, doing these kind of stretching. And I'm telling you, eccentric exercise is superior to mediated stretch hypertrophy. Now, they're going to tell you out there some things. They're going to try to tell you. Some people put out information on the search engines that stretch mediated hypertrophy is going to be better for gains or something than EIMD, exercise-induced muscle damage. But that ain't true. Trust me. Your experience will teach you that. Trust me. Because I could show you channels doing exercise-mediated hypertrophy right now, and they have failed. And I could show you a channel doing exercise-induced muscle damage, and within just a short period of time, whatever these other channels are doing and the stretch-mediated stuff, 7 years later, 8 years later, they're exactly the same. And I could show you a guy within a few months, they have changed astronomically doing exercise-induced muscle damage. So there you go. That just tells you, the experience teaches you superior. Get it? The superiority of it.
okay? This has been done over and over and over and over and over. All right, people get this idea in their head that they're some unique special snowflake, and I'm sorry, you're not.
They're unique, special snowflake. I like Blaha, and Blaha is gonna tell you that you're not a unique, special snowflake. I mean, he needs to speak for himself. Get it? He's talking for you, bro. He ain't talking for me. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Talk for yourself, Blaha. You definitely are not a special snowflake.
Absolutely not. Now, does it mean everyone's going to have the same aesthetics or look? Of course not. Diet, muscle structure, the drugs you use, insertion.
What is this aesthetics and a look and everything? God, he's so hung up now. He thinks he's in the fake bodybuilding world, man. Aesthetics and look, he's trying to get an aesthetic body. It's not going to work for you. Never. That body is getting old. You are only losing your looks as you get older. You understand me?
All that's different. But in terms of just getting a lot bigger and stronger, everybody.
Look at him. He's just making it worse. 85 years old. Like I am longevity guy, looking 95, going on 100. Blaha, 48, looking 85, going on 95.
Now, a good coach can be watching all this and adjust your supplemental work.
Holy shit, did he shave his legs and his chest? I think he shaved his back, and he's got somebody to shave his back for him, probably. His head shaved, his back, his chest is shaved, the legs. Oh, my God.
Right? A good coach can adjust your supplemental work and be like, okay, I see where you're weakest, so let's...
A good coach goes off feelings. You understand me? Experiences and feelings and a bunch of things. It's more technical than that.
Hammer that harder, right? Because all these lists are just proxies for weak links, and I think people...
Believe me, I've met coaches like Blaha. I've met coaches like this. They're the worst people in the world. They don't know anything. They lack lots of experience. That's the problem. They read everything from a textbook. It's all written off from some textbook or something, and you're not gonna do well with those kind of people. You need people that experienced many things to explain it to you, because even they themselves are still in a learning phase. Here's the thing. If your coach is not willing to learn, look, as a human, I know some things that I know what I know through experiences, but I'm constantly experiencing new things constantly. I'm open to everything. You understand me? I don't really know too much about exercise-induced mediated stretch hypertrophy, okay? That's a new concept. If you look at the reports, NCBI PubMed, that only just came out, like, what was it, during COVID, I think in 2023? There's some reports on it. It's a new type of thing they put into this class of exercise, saying that it can get you these kind of gains. But you really want to use the one that is superior. The one that will get you there the fastest, the best, whatever you want to call it, okay? Superior. As far as I know, eccentric exercise is superior to all of these things that are out there. Now, as far as stretch-mediated hypertrophy, I've kind of tried stretch-mediated hypertrophy. I've done stretching. Can it work? Not for me personally, not as good as eccentric exercise, okay? Now, did I know about it? Kind of doing like stretching, like you're kind of adapted, but you're in these longer stretches and stuff. Yeah, I've known about it before. I've tried it. I didn't know they called it mediated stretch hypertrophy. I didn't know that at the time. See what I mean? I didn't know that. A lot of people do long sessions of stretching. In martial arts, they do lots of stretching, bro. And it can last for over an hour, 2 hours or something. Just leg stretching alone. In Taekwondo class, it's crazy. They can go for like 2 hours. It's nuts.
Forget that. You know, they look at max effort work, and they're not understanding that if you're maxing on 12 different exercises over a course of time, right? 6 different upper, 6 different lower.
At Paradisus by Melia, where you
All this different stuff, right? You're going to find your weak links.
Okay.
That weak links is in your performance. In other words, if I take your bench press and change 2 different grips. I also test your floor press and your incline. Okay? I can see where all your weak links are on pressing in general. I can take a sumo deadlift, I can take a conventional deadlift, I can take a normal squat, I can take a box squat. I can take 2 types of good mornings. Okay? We can get you up to about 6 lower body lifts. That's a proxy for every muscle in your lower body. Every single muscle in your lower body, to some extent some of your upper, is all being displayed. If I can find your weakest links on those 6 lifts and work on them, we will find the weak links in your body. All right, people have this really insane idea with that, by the way, that, oh yeah, well, it's just for the power lifts. No, these big lifts are proxies for your entire full body strength. That is a stupid take that it's just about.
Yeah. Nervous system strength. Okay, nervous system strength. Yeah, full body nervous system strength. Okay.
Those lifts. Profound level of ignorance. They're just exercises that use most of the muscles in the body. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so back over to that other point. I can take anybody. I can run them on the base programming. They'll do good. Put them all on similar volume, similar supplemental work, and then come in. And the only individualization that needs to be done is this person can't handle as much total volume. This person needs less accessory and assistance because they can't recover from it. This person might have different weak links.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But the programming can be identical. You can run a whole football team and a group of grandmas side by side on the same programming and they will all excel. You know the difference? The coaching and the mindset. It has nothing to do with it. Because if they're all there, they've all bought in. If you have bought into the programming and it's...
Yeah, but there are other things that you can use to make them even better. You understand me? Even better. Stronger and faster. Strength, power, speed, performance. Just make them lift eccentrically. That's all.
Proven, it is 100% going to work.
It's 100% going to work. Trust me, it's proven to work.
You fail to make progress on it, it's the lack of effort on your part. Okay, so what does coaching do? Coaching's not about giving you a program. Yeah, I give programming to my clients, sure. What are we really looking at? Your mindset, your execution.
I don't know.
Okay, if I have a lifter who's just not putting in the effort and I tell them to push harder on their maxes or push harder on their speed work, we fix it. If we see a form issue, we fix it. We fix the mistakes in the execution.
Yeah, see, they're not going to make any mistakes or anything. They're just going to keep progressing, lifting eccentrically. Eccentric is superior for everything. For everything when it comes to the lifting world. It's superior. And it's a carryover to every sport. It's really simple. He's just wasting this is just a waste of time. The influencers, this guy, whatever he's talking about. All of this is just a waste of time. Lift eccentrically, get it? Strength, power, speed, performance. Bigger, better, stronger, and faster. That's what it's associated with.
We also fix the mistakes in the mindset.
Yeah, the mindset.
Okay?
I love this, the mindset. Well, when you're making real gains, lifting eccentrically, believe me, your mindset's going to change. You're going to change because you're physiologically changing your architecture and everything. Your mindset is really going to change because you're going to become super confident. When you build real muscle and you get real strength, you're going to change big time, believe me.
So in other words, if I draw up a 12-week conjugate template for you that's a base perfectly programmed template, as a general template that's just good and for most people would be within their fatigue management, and I give it to you and you don't make exceptional progress, it was not the program's fault. The programming will work for you. It's not your genetics. It was your approach to it, your lack of effort, your bad form. You're refusing to get tight. You're refusing to grip a bar correctly, refusing to brace, doing stupid stuff like you probably tried to squat a deadlift instead of learn to get tight. It was poor execution of the different movements. Because I can give the same program, rotation, 12-week set of programming to 30 different people, every one of them will get bigger and stronger. I don't care if they're an early intermediate or an elite lifter. Every one of them will make gains. They will all gain muscle. They will all gain strength.
They will all gain muscle and they all gain strength. No, none of them are going to gain any muscle. but they will get better at doing whatever it is they're practicing at getting. You understand me? They can get better at doing those things. That's about it. You'll recruit motor units, and it'll make you better at doing that. Whatever it is you're doing there.
The only limiting factor is the execution of it and the way that they approached it.
You'll lift, he's going to make you lift in a short range of motion, short range. So you're going to be absolutely poor in the long range of motion. So you'll always be weak in the long range of motion. Number 2, you're not going to build any muscle because short ranges of motions are associated with a loss. There's no muscle growth there, and it's a loss of muscle. Number 3, you're going to build up a lot of contractile proteins doing that. That's number 4. Number 5, it's all fake. Get it? It's fake.
It's your mindset. It's not the program, guys. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to.
It's the program. It has nothing to do with the mindset. Okay, he's wrong. He's wrong. It's if you don't build muscle and you lift concentrically and it's associated with a loss of muscle and everything, it's going to bother you because it bothers lifters all the time. They're weak in the long range of motion. They didn't build any myofibrillar growth. They accumulated a lot of these non-contractile proteins, and they have a loss of sarcomere in series. So there you go. There's too many variables, negative variables in concentric lifting. Here's the thing. What are the pros and cons of eccentric lifting? Let's see. Eccentric is associated with strength, power, speed, performance, bigger, better, stronger, and faster. It's associated with longer range of motion. You can exude more kinetic energy, more kinetic force, strength. There's more strength velocity. What else is there? It absorbs energy. You don't lose energy doing it. You grow myofibrillars in parallel and in series, and it makes you strong at concentric automatically and being strong at eccentric. Now, let's see. What are the pros of concentric lifting? Okay, you're getting a strong nervous system, recruiting motor units. You're lifting in a short range of motion. Okay, that's associated with a loss of sarcomeres. Okay, and you're not building any sarcomeres. And you're losing them. And you're building up non-contractile proteins, thinking that that's muscle. Wow, okay. And now you're weak in the long range of motion. You don't have enough kinetic energy. You don't have enough strength velocity. And it's not a carryover to sports. So there's too many negatives for lifting concentrically. You understand me? As opposed to lifting eccentrically. There you go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And that's how you figure out which one is better.
Say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
And it takes energy from you. It takes energy from. It's like climbing. It's based on endurance because you're coming in often, and there's inflammation. Plus, there's only a repair. There's no expanding of the satellite cell pool. You're shortening the satellite cell pool. You might exhaust the satellite cell. In eccentric exercise, we're expanding the satellite cell pool. It's getting bigger all the time. More nuclei. We're not exhausting the stem cell pool. We gain more energy going down a stairwell. You're running up a stairwell. You're losing energy. Whatever, dude. So there's too many negatives in eccentric lifting. It's just not worth it. You understand me? I'll see you in the next one. Don't you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. I told you, it's just not worth it. See you. There's just too many negatives. See you later, man.